seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me!
Not in this lifetime, Sonny.
All right. What is it? Is it like Tuesday or something? Is it Radio Baloney live on Tuesday nights with your host, Richie Baloney? I guess it is. Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's got to be Tuesday. What time? I'm a little bit late. I'm 6 minutes late today. Sorry, guys. So it looks like the chat is malfunctioning for the screen. So we've got just two chats stuck on there. So we might as well just move those off and just get rid of that because nobody wants to look at just the same two chat for the entire stream. All right. What's going on? We got Spambot in there. We got Nevada. Us and them. Good to see you guys. All right. Since the chat is broken in Rumble Studio, and I can't get it up on the screen, and it's not showing up in Rumble Studio, it happens occasionally. I'm going to have to crane my neck to read the chat from the actual Rumble screen itself. Now we start streaming from Rumble, from YouTube, X, and locals. After about an hour, we cut off the YouTube part of it, and then we just continue on with Rumble and X and locals. But sometimes the Rumble Studio breaks, and it looks like it's not giving me any ads as well. So no ads. So this happens sometimes. Afraid everything is broken. One thing you might have noticed is that on the bottom of the screen now, there is this little guy here, which is my avatar. So woke up today to find out the creator program on Rumble has changed its requirements. So now you have to either have your face on the screen or like one of those cartoon things that people do, or it says just like an avatar. So I don't know. I just stuck that there. I hope it's not too annoying. If it is, we'll just have to move it. I'll just get rid of it and say fuck the whole thing. But it'll be there for a little bit. I hope it's not too distracting. Maybe I can put it somewhere else. I don't know. All right, let's get to the menu quickly, and we'll go through everything we're going to talk about. Then we'll get back to the chat, and then we'll dive back into the stories and spend some time with them, as we always do. All right. First, we're going to talk more about this. It's endlessly fascinating and frustrating, this Tesla terrorism. Just these lunatics that are mad at cars. It's so strange. They're mad because Elon took all those dead people off the rolls, off these social security rolls. They must stay on the rolls for democracy. That's what fascists do. Remove dead people from social security rolls. So strange. Seems like there'd be an incredibly large amount of potential for fraud with that. In fact, we've got Elon talking about that later in the show. But we're going to take a look at all these goofballs. And one thing about these dingbats is that so many of them are seniors. It's like the seniors crusade. One thing you notice over and over again, it's seniors out doing this. And it's just not all. Like this looks like just like maybe a younger Antifa guy. Who knows? But it's like this seniors crusade against Elon Musk. It's the weirdest thing. See, look, there's a lot of gray hairs in there. Very, very strange. Obviously, it's not all seniors, right? It's just that there is a
Small fringe minority
within the 65 plus community that have been convinced to really hate Elon Musk and hate like discovering fraud and waste for some reason. I'll tell you what, though. Here's something interesting. Did you know this? Like MSNBC's average audience is like 78. Maybe that's a little bit much. It's not that far off. It's like around 70. I mean, Fox News is, I think, like 68, and then CNN is like 69, and then MSNBC is like 70. It's not like a bunch of young radicals watching that stuff, watching that communist slop. It's actually old people. It's all old people. So I guess that's who these people are. These older ladies and gentlemen largely older ladies that are out with this seniors crusade against fixing waste and fraud. Very, very strange. Anyway, we'll take a look at all of that. We're going to take a look at the Canada election. Obviously, we're going to be talking incessantly about the Canadian election until the 28th of April, because that's when the election is. And obviously, we're going to deal with this a lot. I will be doing an election live stream as well. So any suggestions into the comments on interesting things we can do for that? Because, look, hey, it's a Canadian election. So a little bit less, pomp and circumstance and excitement around it than you would get with an American election. The American elections are just, they're actually pretty amazing. They're very entertaining. It's a lot of money. Canadian, it's like the NFL and the CFL. But sometimes there's a great cup game. So, let's hope it's one of those. So we'll talk about this. So this story about Mark Carney, we're going to talk about this story. This guy here, Paul Chang, who told his followers to go and abduct his conservative opponent in his riding and take him to the Chinese embassy and where he could be abducted off to China to be executed or something. He's actually resigned. So he was right. Not canned by Mark Carney. He resigned last night. Mark Carney all day was going on telling everybody would listen that no, he's staying. He said sorry. He said sorry. What more do you want? Anyway, he resigned last night. I don't know if that was on the orders of the Chinese government or Mark Carney, or he just decided to do it himself. I don't know. But we're going to get lots of reaction to that and how badly Mark Carney handled it. But how else would he handle it? I mean, I think he's the one who told Justin Trudeau to say how much he admires China's basic dictatorship. I think he was Trudeau's mentor the entire time. So yeah, Poilievre is going to be responding to this. Also, Jagmeet Singh responded to it, and it's very ugly. Will it affect the polls? I guess we'll see. Trump tariffs. Here's Kevin O'Leary, who is Canadian, suggesting that the U.S. and Canada should merge. Well, I'm not sure if he's talking about like 51st state there or just simply, more integrated economy. If the economies are more integrated, tariffs aren't even a thing at that point, are they? So it's an interesting point. You don't have to worry about tariffs at that point because maybe that's the direction we should be going. It would make sense. I mean, you'd think it would be good for Canada having the world's largest economy right next door, like sharing a border with us. On either side, there's oceans. So to sell anywhere else, you got to go over oceans. But we got the world's biggest economy that everybody wants to trade with right next door. So you'd think we could find a way to take advantage of that, wouldn't you? Because it just seems kind of to do anything else is insane and stupid. Let's see, Elon Musk. So he's generating memorable quotes again. Here he is talking about millions of illegals, social security numbers, waste and fraud. Apparently it's a threat to democracy, they say. The people who hate electric cars now for some reason, who used to love them. Let's see. So USAID is dead. We'll talk about that. We've got memes. Got a special tab just for memes now. And we'll do this every stream, I think. If I can keep finding the sweet, sweet memes. I'm just a humble meme farmer. Let's see. The UK is just insane. We'll wait till we get there. It's just crazy. Not to mention EU. Crazy. Anybody who wants to join the EU, any Canadian that wants to join the EU is retarded. We won't give up our sovereignty, except to Europe, except to the EU. Which is exactly what you're doing when you join the EU. Let's see. Woke Mind Virus. I know that looks like somebody. I know that looks like a movie character. Can you guess? We'll get to that. Then we have the final tab, and there's going to be lots of stuff. You got this one now where I guess a rabbi is telling the Senate that it's not enough to not be anti-Semitic. You have to be anti-Semitic or something. I don't know. This reminds me exactly of all the woke shit, and it's not enough to not be racist. You have to be anti-racist, which it turns out means being actually racist. Not a fan of this stuff. Not a fan of this. Don't tell me what to do. Let's see. Yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. This Florida man doing crazy stuff. We got lots of stuff. What is that? Is that now? I think that is out of the movie Alien. I think it's the alien from the movie Alien. Let's see. Bill Maher, blah, blah, blah. We got lots of stuff here. Lots of super fun. All right, people, you ready? Let's get to the chat. All right. I'm so sad we can't see the chat on the screen for this stream. That's a bummer. Sometimes that happens, though. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good time? Let's see. Nevada says, oh, for fuck's sake, I got the first like tonight. That's double good karma. Everybody gets one dose, one healthy dose of good karma from Radio Baloney Live when they like the stream. Of course, when they also subscribe to the channel, they also get that as well. But you also get it when you like the stream. It's so simple. You just press the button, boom. The good karma is transferred directly into your, I don't know, karma bank. Now it's yours. It's double when it's the first one. And that's double whether it's the first one on Rumble, whether it's the first one on YouTube, whether it's the first one on X, whether it's the first one on Locals, or all of them together. It's a mighty haul of karma there. In these troubled times, I'm telling you. Let's see. Spambot saying, didn't get the Locals notice for the stream. And yeah, so there's something's on the fritz. And I don't know what it is. It's not on my side. Let's see. Us and Them says, hello, hello. Let's see. Spambot saying, I'm going to the elections office in my riding tomorrow. I'm going to cast an early vote as I'll be volunteering on election day, driving seniors to the polling stations. Very well. Excellent. Let's see. I need to get in and vote early too, actually. Let's see. Spambot's got his rant juice in hand. Good. Excellent. I hope you guys are all ranting to yourselves while you're watching the stream. Don't just let me rant. You guys can rant at home too. Do it yourself ranting. Us and Them says, okay, everybody, I've decided that enough is enough. It's time that the United States of America becomes the 11th province of Canada. That's the only way that any of this is going to work out. Yeah. Nobody's joining anybody, I don't think. I think there's maybe a chance, if Carney does win, that, and I've said this before, history goes slow, and then very fast. There is a chance you could maybe see like Alberta and Saskatchewan really push hard, but it's such a mess, such a legal mess. I don't think any of it from Trump was serious in the first place. So, it's, yeah, by the time the legal stuff was out of the way, you'd probably have leaders that didn't want to do it anymore anyway. But I am very tempted that if Carney wins, to immediately start looking into buying property in Alberta. Just in case. If it looks really good, just go over there and just become Albertan and then just get the fast track right in. Let's see. Roll the Dice says, hello from Ontario, Alberta 51. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I would rather Canada just be a sane country and all stick together and continue to be Canada. And maybe we can get some of our old mojo back again. That'd be great. Got to remember, too, like presidents change. And it's not like with the 24 election in the States, Trump won. He won the popular vote. He got all the swing states. He got the electoral college. Got the Senate. But it's not like he won everything. It's not like he won, like the popular vote wasn't 20 points, 30 points, 40 points. So it ended up being, what, about 2 or 3 points in the end? Like, it wasn't that far off. They're going to vote in another crazy leftist president at some point. So you got to keep that in mind as well. But I sure would like those first 2 amendments. Those would be nice. Let's see. And Nevada says, yes, so tomorrow the earth will stop spinning because tariffs are going into effect. And people still don't seem to know that, like, it's not actually like 25%. Like, if a car is worth $100,000, it's not $25,000. It's a tariff on non-American parts. And then there are many of the parts that are made in Canada that are covered under the USMCA. So it's not even like, it's going to be somewhere between 3.5% at the lowest end, maybe 10%. That's bad. It's not good, but that's not the apocalypse. Yeah, the earth is not going to stop spinning. Canada will still exist. Let's see. Let's see. Spambot said, last time there was an election, one of the seniors joked and said I should bring Viagra to help erections too, not just elections. I had no idea boomers could be that gross. Yeah. Yeah, they're people. They're people, and they've done gross things in their lives. Let's see. Erections Canada. Spambot says, it's a good thing my rants here won't be visible on YouTube. Yeah, just rant. Just go for it, man. Go for it. Hope you guys have learned something from me. Let's see. Spambot says, you can put the avatar below the rotating rumble thing. I could put it there. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll let the chat decide tonight. Nevada says, Canada and US should not have any tariffs between each other. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see just how much the economy really gets roaring with that, with some nice tax cuts as well. Let's see. As of them says, if the tariffs come, it's the people who are going to pay, not the corporations. Yeah, it gets passed on. Got to keep in mind too with those tariffs, like, it's the whole world, right? So we're not at a disadvantage. We're actually at an advantage because of the USMCA, and that exempts some of the parts. So we're actually at an advantage to, like, the EU or wherever else. Let's see. S&M says that movie character you're looking at is the Penguin and one of the Batman. I know. We'll get to it. We'll get back to it. Danny DeVito Penguin. That's right. We're going to get there. Where's the hockey girls? Where are those hockey girls? You know what? They just disappeared, the hockey girls. I don't know what happened. I think maybe that account got closed or something. But, I mean, this is a good instructional video on like a pull-up bar and how to get off a pull-up bar. It's a good one. Let's see. As of them says, my God, I thought you would think that comment I made about the 11th province would be funny, but I couldn't even get a chuckle out of you. Well, to be honest with you, just the whole thing, I'm just kind of sick of. Right? It's not going to happen either way. Canada's not going to become the 51st state. I mean, I do think there is a chance that Carney could fuck things up enough if he were to get elected. Now, I don't think he's going to get elected, but I think there's a chance that he could screw things up enough that you'd get like 70% of Alberta wanting to just get out, and maybe you'd start seeing negotiations. But I think it would be legally, it would be such an issue. Let's see. Nevada just wants Greenland. Oh, you guys can have Greenland. I don't want it. Well, it says, I miss those hockey girls. Yeah, me too, actually. They were great, but they just disappeared. I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened. I think that channel just got I think the channel got deleted or something. I don't know. All right, let's get to it. Let's take a look at these just weird anti-Tesla senior commies, like boomer commies. From Andy No. The Novato Police Department in California is investigating a felony vandalism that occurred on March 29th to a Tesla Cybertruck by a person dressed like an Antifa member. So, a masked suspect dressed in black bloc appeared to case the resident before returning with a large chunk of concrete. Pardon me. A masked suspect dressed in black bloc appeared to case the residence before returning with a large chunk of concrete. So this won't be a senior here. This will just be a revolutionary communist who just wants the whole world to burn. Yeah, taking a look around. Taking a look around. Anybody up? Got a big chunk of concrete there. Puts it down. Imagine this is your night. This is your evening. This is what you do. What's the tape for? What's that? Oh, is that for cameras? Oh, that's probably for cameras. Like to cover the cameras up. Or maybe it was a message, something written on it. Imagine being this person. Just demented. Just some stranger's car. And then runs away, of course. This is not going to achieve anything. It achieves absolutely nothing. It's just stupid. It's just dumb. It's just a dumb desire to see the world burn. That's what I think. It's just satisfying in the kind of smallest, most base way for a loser, for a loser in life. This is their excitement. This is their accomplishment. Pathetic. See, look, what's going on here? So get more boomer protesters from Justine Brooke Murray. This aggressive mob of outgrown hippies got very angry when I asked why they were demonstrating outside a local Tesla dealership. So, as I said, the viewership for MSNBC is like 70. That's the average age. And it's a small audience, too. It's not like all seniors are watching MSNBC, but the ones that do are this
Small fringe minority.
And I guess they are fully parasitized by the mind virus that's being spread on MSNBC and CNN. CNN is also, I think, 69 is the average, and Fox is like 68. But obviously, Fox News viewers are not going to be out protesting Teslas. So there's something very weird. It's like the seniors crusade. There's something very strange about it. They've mobilized the seniors.
And then I asked, hey, speak with words, not with hands, mister. You're just a liar. You're lucky.
The cars that you're seeing out here.
When media's got to go.
Would you?
Says deport Elon immediately, DEI. She learned this from like Joy Reid and like Rachel Maddow.
Like like to share your opinions with us?
Right-wing media's got to go.
Why don't you want us talking to people? Why don't you want...
You're pro-Nazi.
How is this about Nazi?
Did you know that too? Hey, hey, ho, ho, right-wing media's got to go. They don't want to hear anything different. They don't want to be confronted by a difference of opinion. Certainly not by reality. Not fans of reality, right? But hey, hey, ho, ho, right-wing news has got to go. These are the censorship people. They're not confused about it, yet they want to censor everything they don't like. They have not thought for a moment. They're incapable of seeing past their own shadow and thinking that, oh, you know what, that'll probably come back on me at some point, right? And maybe it's kind of unethical anyway. Nope. This is what you get from having your brain rotted, from being 70 and having your brain rotted from MSNBC. And again, the average age of an MSNBC viewer, it's somewhere around 70, I believe. In fact, hold on, let's fact check it.
Fact check.
Hold on. Here we go. I was right. The median age of an MSNBC viewer is 70, while Fox News is 69, CNN's is 68. I got Fox and CNN mixed up there. But the median age of an MSNBC viewer is 70. And you can see it's working. It's working, but it's weird, right? It's not like young people. It's the seniors. It's the MSNBC. They've created this
Small fringe minority
of revolutionary seniors, revolutionary communist seniors. They don't really realize that's what they are, but that's what they're acting like. They're behaving as if they were revolutionary communist seniors. Very strange.
Are you pro-Nazi?
Why do you believe...
That's the question.
I'm Jewish. I'm Justine Burke-Murray, out here with MRC TV. Despite their claims of devotion to fighting climate change, leftists are out here asking people to boycott electric vehicles, as long as they're Teslas. It's all part of their raging hatred toward Elon Musk and his efforts to trim government waste. Let's see what they have to say on this Tesla takedown day. We're asking people what message they believe they're sending by being out here today.
We don't approve of what Musk is doing to our government.
The dead people must stay on the Social Security rolls. There must be fraud. There must be waste for democracy. Only fascists would want to cut waste and fraud. Only fascists would want to take dead people, 200-year-old people, off the Social Security rolls.
And people don't realize all that the federal government provides, and they're going to find out, and it's going to be really sad.
Would you like to share your opinion with us while you're out here?
You're assaulting us.
How so? You keep coming up to
us alone. You're in our space.
I don't believe that's assault.
I'm sorry, it is.
It's not assault asking questions.
It's sending the message that Elon Musk is an unelected billionaire who is destroying our government.
Do they understand that not every single person in the government was elected? There's a massive, in the States, I think there's millions of people that work for the government. In fact, hold on a second.
Fact check.
Let's see. How many people work for the U.S. federal government? How many people work for the federal government? The federal government employs around 3 million people, making it the nation's 15th largest workforce. Really? Wow. Okay, so 3 million people work for the U.S. government. Okay, a tiny portion of those are elected. Tiny portion. Right? That doesn't hold any water. Do these people know nothing? What a strange justification. What a strange reason. He's unelected. Okay. He's so like 3 million other government employees. In fact, I don't think he's even an employee. He's not getting paid. right? He's just kind of an appointee by Trump. Bizarre. You get a 3 million strong bureaucracy.
That Elon Musk does not have the right to come in and destroy our departments and agencies, and he needs to get out, and they need to stop.
Does not have a right to go in and destroy the agencies. Let's see. And by auditing them, by giving transparency to the public, so this person can see what's happening, what the money's being spent on. Right? No, USAID must be allowed to destabilize governments worldwide. USAID must be allowed USAID must be allowed to continue to be a CIA front group destabilizing governments around the world under the cover of, humanitarianism and transgender comic books in Peru.
Breaking the law.
Would you like to share why you're here today?
To save our government.
Yeah, I'd love to share. So the question is, she wants to share. So my wife was a contractor with USAID, and she was fired by this administration at the end of January.
Let's try to get her out of here.
Why don't you want us speaking to people?
Bye.
Why don't you want us
I need to be here.
This is a public...
It's this boomer revolution. This small fringe minority of boomers who've just been totally brainwashed into revolutionary fervor by MSNBC. It's so strange. And they clearly know nothing.
Base.
Yeah, but you don't need to be here.
But that's not your decision.
Well, Tesla's an unfortunate victim of their CEO.
Don't buy from Nazis. Can they really believe this? Can they really believe this? I mean, is it just a matter of they just want to buy into it so badly? They just want to be a part of something so badly, right? He's retired. He's got nothing to do all day. He just wants to be a part of something and feel like a young man again and get out and protest with the placards that somebody else made and mass produced, and then he just picked the one that he liked, which is what happens at these. He did not make that placard himself, right? They're already pre-made. It's all organized. They just go and pick the one that they like. Oh, I like this. Don't buy from Nazis one. Because Elon's a Nazi because he waved at some people. Really weird.
CEO, who frankly doesn't understand American principles, and he's frankly a fascist.
It's your question. Why
a fascist? What has he done that's fascist? That man has just been told, it's been read to him off a teleprompter that Elon Musk is fascist because he waved to a crowd. Because he's exposing fraud and waste. No, the dead people must stay on the rolls.
do you hate democracy so much? I mean,
why are you putting words into my mouth? Why would you?
But I'm saying you're.
What brings you to? How do you come to that conclusion?
System in this country.
What brought you to that?
Donald Trump is systematically.
He thinks it takes this has taken 40 years off of him, but it's not.
Excuse me, you just made a grave accusation. What brings you to that accusation?
Well, you're telling lies. Everything you said here is a lie.
How did anything I say?
This is just a silly.
What's your definition of democracy?
I'm not going to participate.
Some of the protests are resulting in the fire bombings and the vandalism of multiple Teslas. Do you support that, or are you against that?
And they're all white too. It's all old white boomers. It's weird. It's so strange. Do they realize that Joy Reid hates them? Do they realize that Rachel Maddow hates them? I don't know. So weird. It's so strange. What a weird, surreal thing this is. What about this one here from Willie Nelson? Media Willie Nell. Okay. At the Tesla Takedown Day in Santa Monica. It's Santa Monica. It's this boutique revolution. It's Santa Monica, California. So anyway, he's at Santa Monica, California, and here's his interview with a protester, a person in a dinosaur costume. Okay. Let's take a look. It looks like an expensive dinosaur costume, actually.
Are you being paid to be here?
Why don't you go and Google it? No.
Are you?
What's your day rate?
You being paid to be here?
What's your day rate for attending this?
Here, you motherfucking idiot. So why don't you listen and open your fucking ear?
Oh, so that's obviously an old lady too, and so crude. I feel it. They think that they're getting their youth back somehow by doing this, by being idiots on the street.
What are you being paid to be here?
What's your day rate?
What are you being paid to be here?
Now, I'm noticing a lack of diversity here at the event today.
To Santa Monica.
What was that?
I guess welcome to Santa Monica.
Yes, there is a lack of diversity. It's almost exclusively old white boomer, just old boomers, white boomers. Very strange, very undignified. Let's see. Mario Nawfal, remember 8 years ago when Democrats gathered in Philadelphia and said, when they go low, we go high. They didn't mean that. That was just more lies.
10 seconds.
They have to blur this. There's probably some balls hanging down.
All right, this is madness, and this is outright evil. Somebody's going to get killed before this is all said and done. We all know what's happening here. Democrats lost an election. Now they're engaging in a campaign of intimidation and violence. They love to tout the virtues of democracy until they lose an election. And then it's, not just an attack on Tesla. Think of all the people that will be hurt that work for dealerships, that repair them, that make those cars. Their jobs are now at risk. I thought they cared about working men and women. But the Republican Party headquarters in New Mexico also was just firebombed. The words ICE KKK spray painted on the charred building. Meanwhile, on TikTok, a deranged lunatic called for illegal immigrants to start shooting at ICE officials. Take a look.
Shoot at ICE agents on site. That's right. If ICE agents are trying to take you or a loved one, shoot them on site. The way they're pulling.
I don't even know if I can show that on YouTube. That is, what do the retired accountants and real estate agents at the Santa Monica Tesla protest, do they agree with this? Probably do, actually. They've been convinced that Rachel Maddow has managed to convince them that somehow Elon Musk is a Nazi, which is the most insane thing I've ever heard. They probably do agree with that. They probably do like him. How about Pam Bondi here? She's not messing around.
I've made it clear, if you take part in the wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, we will find you, arrest you, and put you behind bars. Today, I'm proud to announce that the Department of Justice has unsealed federal charges against another Tesla attacker. We've charged Cooper Frederick in the firebombing of a Tesla dealership that occurred on March 7th in Loveland, Colorado. All of these cases are a serious threat to public safety. Therefore, there will be no negotiating. We are seeking 20 years in prison. The crime was committed in Colorado, and thanks to the great investigative work by the FBI, the defendant was arrested in Plano, Texas. Let this be a warning. You can run, but you cannot hide. Justice is coming.
Here's the thing. I get those retired accountants and real estate agents at the Santa Monica protest, for instance. They must be aware of firebombings, assaults, right? And yet they still go out. I guess that is just a tacit approval of it. Totally demented. Let's see, what's this one here? It's from Defiant L's. No hope for these people. Confusing anti-Elon protesters at Tesla. Let's see. Okay.
Right now, right? What makes you guys want to come out here today in support of the fascism that's happening here in the United States?
Support the fascism?
Well, you say Elon Musk is a Nazi.
To see him do that?
Yeah, you're doing right now, right?
So that guy actually believes that. That guy actually believes it. That guy is so parasitized that he actually thinks that was a Nazi salute, and it's just rock solid evidence that when Elon Musk put his hand over his heart and said, I can't remember what he said, something, my heart goes out to you or something to the audience, and put his hand up, as 1 billion people have done and every single politician has done. Your arm, the human body only works so many ways, right? Like the arm, the shoulder, it only works so many ways. Everybody does that. There's photos and videos of everybody, AOC, all of them, Obama, doing the exact same thing. Yet they've somehow managed to parasitize this guy's mind so much that they tell him, nope, that was a Nazi salute. I don't care that everybody else, you have yourself have done that. Everybody's put their hand, waved. Everybody's done that. Again, the human body only works so many ways. There's only so many ways to communicate non-verbally. It's just the way that it is. This guy's mind has been this. I mean, he's the perfect leftist now, right? They ring the bell and he drools, because that's what this is. That's what this is. He says, you saw him put his hand up. You saw that. Now it's a Nazi salute. It's demented. It's demented. No rational person could just decide that somebody is a Nazi from that. It's insane.
Nazi.
So
I'm not a Nazi. Only Nazis want Musk.
So you're not protesting because you want Elon Musk to be a Nazi?
He still doesn't realize that he's being trolled, which I guess only further proves the point.
Is this obvious? Isn't this obvious?
Well, only Nazis want Musk. So I'm kind of confused.
We're not Nazis.
Oh, you guys aren't Nazis.
No.
Oh. And what makes Elon such a bad guy?
How about this as one thing? Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
Who does it? Hitler. I don't want Hitler.
Who does that? Hitler. I mean, it's pathetic and it's tragic, but I mean, it is funny still. It's funny, and it's impossible to believe that this guy actually thinks that, but apparently he does. Apparently that's it. That's just rock solid. Elon put his hand up. Well, there's no other explanation other than that. He's a Nazi, hardcore Nazi. He has been the whole time. And when he went to Israel to look at all the places that were destroyed on October 7th, and where all those people were killed, that was a not totally Nazi thing to do. Or maybe he was trying to hide the fact that he was a Nazi or something. But no, it doesn't matter. It's case closed. He put his hand up. Rock solid evidence right there.
And he's wiping out the government. The Department of Education has done so much good.
No, it hasn't. It's hurt students. It's hurt young Americans. I mean, just look at the statistics for it. Look at the reading proficiency and math. I mean, it's been a total disaster. But anyway, go ahead.
And the NIH, she has huge grant, $35 million grant with the NIH. They are wiping out the NIH. And they have 23-year-old people deciding what goes.
Yeah, big balls is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why big balls?
Just zombies. These are because you don't know. This is instructive because you don't normally associate wokeism with like seniors. But yeah, I mean, again, there's that very small audience for MSNBC, and the average age of the viewer is 70. So that's these people. And I do think probably, again, retired, not much to do, wants to feel young again. Maybe it gives them a sense of that they're young and active. And so they don't really even care what it's all about. Just we do something, maybe we feel young and cool again. I think maybe there's some of that happening here. Well, this one, I meme, therefore I am. A climate cultist just sprayed paint on a Tesla dealership in Ottawa. Somehow convinced in her little pea brain that she's saving the planet and anyone will take her seriously. Why are you doing this in Ottawa, in Ontario? Like, so strange, so desperate to get in on it.
We are last generation Canada, a nonviolent civil resistance campaign tackling the climate crisis and demanding a climate disaster protection agency.
Climate crisis, you're spraying the electric car company dealership. You are fully retarded. Fully retarded.
How can you talk if you haven't got a brain?
I don't know. But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
What the fuck is it with you?
I don't know, Joe Pesci. I don't know what the fuck it is with her. I have no idea. It's just desperation to get in on just whatever current thing is. What else have we got here? And a leftist anti-Tesla protester was arrested for allegedly ramming a Trump supporter with a car in Meridian, Idaho on March 29th. So I think that did we cover this one in the last one? Again, a senior. Weird. It's the seniors crusade. So I don't know. It's a weird phenomenon, isn't it? I wonder if Antifa's getting pissed off that all their thunder is being stolen by all the old white people that they hate. Do these people understand that the left hates them? The left hates them. Joy Reid hates them. It doesn't matter how many hours of Joy Reid they've watched. She hates them. Why can't they figure that out? It's quite sad. Quite sad. Never retire. That's the message. Never retire. I'm never going to retire. Otherwise, I might end up with a placard somewhere protesting against, I don't know, birdhouses or something. Fascist birdhouses. Never. All right. Let's get back to the chat for a second. Let's see. Let's go back in the chat a little bit. All right. Let's see. As in them says, I got no use for Elon Musk. I don't need any of his digital intervention. He can find all the corruption and waste money all he wants, but it ain't going to stop his digital intervention from happening. What is the digital intervention? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Well, it says Canada and the US should not have any tariffs between them. Yeah, Elon Musk has not been perfect, but he's been a net positive, an absolute net positive. Massively net positive, I would say. Let's see. Yeah, we got to find those hockey girls again. I don't know where they are. The one says, how about, hey, ho, ho, loser commies, got to go. That would have been better. Let's see. Nevada says there was two kinds of hippies in the 70s, 60s, 70s, commies and Jesus freaks. Yeah, that was pretty much it, wasn't it? Spambot says, I hope Ezra, Maxime, and Pierre enjoyed the donations I made today. Very nice. Good for you. Let's see. $17.50 to PPC and CPC, $1,000 for Ezra's campaign. Good for you, man. Awesome. Says it's the first time it's first time ever that he donated to politics. Well, this is like a crucial time, so nice work. Spambot says, makes me feel dirty. Well, that's inevitable, but I think he did the right thing. So Rumbum's saying, looks like the commies won in Wisconsin. Dems scream about election integrity for years, then vote for the one who wants to remove election integrity. Tribal retards. We have to understand they don't want election integrity, right? It's just power. It's just win at all costs by any means necessary. There's no principles involved whatsoever. Let's see. We've got a small crowd tonight. I wonder if I can do, you know what? I'm going to do something because I put this stream on. I don't think I can because I've already started it. Normally I have it on podcast section, and I changed it to news for this one. And I think maybe people aren't finding it because of that. I don't know. Maybe it'll pick up after, but it's quite low tonight. All right. All right, all right, here we go. Nevada says they turned beautiful Santa Monica into a shithole with rent control. Let's see. Apparently, the X stream is about 3.8 seconds ahead of the Rumble stream. That's weird. Why would that be? Is Rumble stuttering? Yeah, there seems to be a bit of it's glitchy tonight. We can't get the chat on the screen, and it's unfortunate. Nevada says that guy probably watches The View every day. Yeah, The View and MSNBC. Troll that commie goblin. Well, they're getting the attention they wanted, so there's that. All right, so the big scandal for Mark Carney has been that you had this disgraced Liberal MP, Paul Chang, and well, here's what he said about his conservative opponent.
The other person that's running, most probably is, the Chinese community knows, Zhou Te, Zhang Jingzi, right? He is looking for the nomination. The Chinese media knows him. He was in the media business in Hong Kong, and here in Canada, he's a radio host, or I don't know, for Singtel Media or Fairchild, he was a media person. So that's all he did, all his life. But also right now, he is wanted by the Chinese government, and there's a $1 million reward on his head. So they want, if you guys want to pick him up and take him to the Chinese consulate, you make him $1 million. I'm just joking, but there is a arrest warrant out for him from the government of China, and there is a reward for him.
I'm just joking, but there is an arrest warrant out for him, and there is a bounty. There is a reward. I'm just joking, but you could take him there. Yeah, this is a problem, right? Apart from that, I can't say more than that right now.
Apart from that, I can't say more than that right now.
Yeah, I'm just joking, except you could do that. I'm just joking, except you could actually do that and get the reward. Now, the person he's talking about, Joe Tay. Now, the person he's talking about, Joe Tay, is a dissident. He's a pro-democracy guy from China who's now a Canadian. And that's why there's a bounty on him from the Chinese government, because he's a dissident. So this is obviously a major problem, right? It doesn't matter if you say, oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah, somebody might do it. I'm just letting you know, though, that there is that. Yeah, this is deeply problematic. I mean, I guess just the amount of Chinese interference and Chinese Communist Party infiltration into Canada is just so blatant and open now at this point that he feels free to do this. Because nothing happens, right? The Liberals appoint somebody to take a look at it, like Hogue, who just ends up saying, well, everything's fine, no big deal. That just happens. That's all that happens, right? It's just so open now. It's so open and obvious what's been going on that he just feels free to say this. Well, Mark Carney, of course, stood by him. The media kept asking him all day yesterday, well, you can't like keep this guy as a candidate, right? Like he's got to go, right? Like you can't do that. You can't tell people to go and abduct, an opposing candidate. Obviously, you can't do that. And he said, well, it's he's apologized. He apologized, and that's good enough. Yeah, you can't do that. Now, last night, he ended up just resigning. I don't know whether it was from pressure from Carney, or maybe it was pressure from China. Maybe they just found it too embarrassing, actually. Maybe the Chinese Communist Party found it too embarrassing. I don't know. Maybe he just decided himself. Who knows? We don't know right now. But they're saying he just decided to resign. I guess he wanted to spend more time with his Communist Party. And I guess he probably has to get to Beijing to give his report to glorious leader Chairman Xi anyway, right? So timing's probably great anyway. Total lunacy. Pierre Poilievre reacts to Paul Chang's resignation and slams Mark Carney for bringing the former Liberal candidate for backing. Pierre Poilievre reacts to Paul Chang's resignation and slams Mark Carney for backing the former Liberal candidate. This is from Rebel News. Let's take a look. I mean, this is appalling. I mean, it should just be disqualifying. I mean, the Chinese Communist Party interfered with the Liberal leadership race to the benefit of Mark Carney. They did. I mean, it's so brazen and open at this point. It's amazing. But let's take a look. This should have been disqualifying for Carney.
Just yesterday, we saw those conflicts play out when he refused to remove Paul Chang, a Liberal candidate who had said that a Canadian Conservative candidate should be turned over on a bounty to the Chinese government that wants to imprison or possibly even kill him because he is a political dissident. Mr. Carney said that Mr. Chang could stay on as a candidate. It wasn't until midnight when we found out the police were involved, because it is a potential criminal offense, that the candidate stepped aside himself, not being pushed out by Carney, but because he decided on his own. Mr. Carney will never put our country first. He will always put himself first. Just yesterday, we saw those conflicts play out.
Yeah, he's being investigated by the RCMP, by the way, because he broke about 30 laws doing that. So, wow. Wowee. Wowee. Let's see. What did Carney himself say about it? Well, Mark Carney, surprisingly, he says it's time to move on and leave it all behind. Leave all that behind. Sure. It's from Rebel News as well. This is after he refused to fire Chang, the guy who had literally told his supporters to kidnap his conservative opponent, take him to the Chinese consulate to collect the bounty, collect the reward on his head from the Chinese Communist Party. All right.
Mr. Chang made his resignation, offered his resignation last night. I accepted it. As I said yesterday, his comments were deeply troubling,
but not enough for you to get rid of him, though, for some reason,
and regrettable. We will move on with looking for a new candidate for Markham, and I'll leave it at
that. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of Chinese spies they can find that can take that seat. Canada is not even a serious country anymore. I mean, are we even a real country at this point? When you have outrages like this, and it's just no big deal. Apparently the CBC brushed it off last night too in the news. It wasn't very interesting. Well, it wasn't going to help their new sugar daddy, Mark Carney. So, not to get too heavy onto it. Let's see. How about this? So this is Canada in a nutshell. This is why Canada isn't a serious country here. So the federal government's election security task force says it doesn't consider Liberal Paul Chang's comments to be transnational repression. So they just had a press conference, I think just on Monday, just yesterday, in which about transnational repression and how everybody's got to be really aware of it and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it's all leading to just Elon Musk bad and you have to get rid of X. But let's hear what they have to say here. This shows you what a joke Canada has become.
The Conservatives or candidate should be turned into the Chinese consulate. He's a Hong Kong dissident. What do you make of this controversy, and do you consider it, for example, transnational repression?
So we're aware of the comments made, and I would say the comments don't fall under the mandate of the panel. The bounty against the other person is an example of transnational repression. The panel and site are monitoring as it relates to the bounty.
So the bounty is transnational repression, but not the Liberal MP telling his followers that he's just joking, but you could take him to the consulate though, and there really is a reward though, right? Just so you know. But that's not interesting. Let's see, but I guess it would hurt the Liberals though. So yeah, I guess that's the problem.
Note that the Minister of Foreign Affairs in December 2024 issued a statement deploring Hong Kong's decision to place bounties on the heads of Democratic activists, including 2 Canadians. And GAC remains in touch with the 2 Canadians to provide them updates and offer support.
The Conservatives
and she forgot to add, Carney's really great. Did you know he was a banker? He's super smart and stuff. We know Conservatives are so mean. They're so mean. How about this? This was from yesterday, actually. Let's hear this from Pierre Poilievre. And if this were conservative, by the way, that had done this, it would be transnational repression or whatever they're calling it. And the CBC would be very, very interested in talking about nothing else for the next month.
And Mr. Jote is extremely afraid. He's afraid for his life. And I think he is probably rattled by the fact that the Prime Minister of Canada is siding with a Liberal MP who has made these horrific and dangerous comments against a Canadian citizen, against the life of a fellow Canadian citizen.
And NDP leader Jagmeet Singh also asked about this story, this situation, and he was equally critical. Have a listen.
For Mark Carney.
Yeah, so here's the Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP in Canada.
Carney to say that I'm going to accept this candidate really sends a message that that type of commentary ultimately is acceptable because he's not removing him as a candidate. Ultimately saying that for the folks out there that are worried and afraid, the folks that are living with that constant fear, you know what? You're less important to me, and what's more important to me is my party.
And Mr. Jote is
You have to understand, too, there's like secret Chinese police stations in Canada that are used to like extort and bully the Chinese diaspora in Canada because they all have family back in China. So it's very easy to do. Total lunacy. Okay, we've got another thing here. I want to... Okay, so here's Mark Carney trying to justify just the lunacy. Just what seems like... Here is Mark Carney trying to sound like he's not somehow tied into or indebted to or compromised by the Chinese Communist Party. Let's listen.
Okay.
Good morning. Next question. Good morning, Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News. It appears the involvement of the RCMP forced candidate Paul Chang to bow out of the race. Meanwhile, the Conservatives just removed their problematic candidate in Windsor within an hour of learning of issues of this individual. Why didn't you do the same with Chang? And was this a teachable moment for you?
Yeah, so there was a controversy with a Conservative MP as well, and they immediately got rid of him, right? So that's a contrast between the two parties. But yeah, Mark Carney also said this was a teachable moment. So let's hear his answer.
Mr. Chang made his resignation, offered his resignation last night. I accepted it. As I said yesterday, his comments were deeply troubling and regrettable. we will move on with looking for a new candidate for Markham. And I'll leave it at that.
It's not really enough, though. I mean, you can leave it at that, but it's not really great, though. It's not really great. All right. What do we have here? Hold on. All right. So let's get past this part. I think now, right now, we're going to cut off in fact, we're going to go to beach volleyball for a second. We're going to cut off the YouTube part of the stream right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, no worries. You can hop over to the Rumble stream. We're live on Rumble. We're on X. We're on Locals. And we're going to continue on those platforms. But we have to end the YouTube part because it's just this censorship problems. It's just a pain in the ass. So we just do the first hour on YouTube. And then we have to let go. In fact, we did an hour and 11 minutes this time. So that's pretty good. But please join us over on Rumble. We'd appreciate seeing you over there. And it's fun. The chat's good and chat's great. People are super friendly and fun. And there's always way more people over there. So join us over there. Otherwise, I'll see you Friday, I guess. See you later. Have a good week. It's all over, folks.